India is one of the fastest-growing economies in the world, with a rich history, diverse culture, and immense potential. Over the past few decades, the country has made significant progress in technology, infrastructure, and industrial development. However, despite its rapid growth, India still faces several challenges that prevent it from reaching the status of a fully developed nation. In this video, we will explore the key reasons why India remains a developing country in 2025. From economic factors like low GDP per capita and high income inequality to issues such as weak infrastructure, political instability, and environmental concerns, we will break down the obstacles that hinder India's progress. While India has achieved remarkable success in sectors like IT, space research, and manufacturing, deep-rooted challenges in education, healthcare, and governance continue to slow down its journey toward becoming a developed nation. So, what are the biggest hurdles standing in India's way? Stay with us as we dive deep into the top reasons why India is not yet a developed country in 2025. Let's get started. 1. Low GDP per capita. A key indicator of a developed country is its high GDP per capita, which reflects strong economic productivity and higher income levels for citizens. Countries that struggle with low GDP per capita often face issues such as weak industries, slow job creation, and low wages. In such economies, a significant portion of the population earns just enough to survive, limiting disposable income and reducing overall consumer spending, which is essential for economic growth. Low productivity across sectors, dependence on informal employment, and a lack of high-value industries keep GDP per capita low. This directly impacts living standards, limiting access to healthcare, education, and other essential services. Without a steady rise in GDP per capita, a country remains in the developing category, as it fails to generate enough wealth to support a high quality of life for its people. 2. Weak industrialization. Developed countries typically have a strong industrial base that includes advanced manufacturing, technology-driven industries, and a diversified economy. In contrast, countries that remain underdeveloped often rely heavily on agriculture, raw material exports, or low-skilled labor industries. This limits value addition and prevents economic expansion. A lack of industrialization also leads to slow urbanization, fewer employment opportunities, and increased reliance on imported goods, which strains national economies. Countries that fail to transition from an agricultural-based economy to a manufacturing and services-driven economy struggle to provide sufficient high-paying jobs, resulting in widespread poverty. Furthermore, weak industrialization means fewer innovations, less research and development, and minimal technological advancements. Without strong industries, these nations cannot compete globally, limiting their economic growth and keeping them in a developing state. 3. High poverty and unemployment rates. A high percentage of people living below the poverty line and struggling with unemployment reflects an unstable economy and poor resource distribution. Developed countries ensure low unemployment through strong industries, high-skilled jobs, and stable markets. However, in developing countries, poverty is widespread due to insufficient job opportunities, stagnant wages, and limited social welfare programs. The lack of quality education and skills training further contributes to high unemployment rates, as many people remain unqualified for modern jobs. In some cases, informal employment dominates, with workers earning low wages and lacking job security. Persistent poverty also leads to malnutrition, lack of access to healthcare, and increased crime rates, all of which slow down economic growth. Unless a country addresses unemployment and poverty through economic reforms, skill development, and job creation, it will struggle to transition into a developed nation. 4. Poor infrastructure. Well-developed infrastructure is essential for economic growth, but many countries remain underdeveloped due to weak transportation networks, unreliable electricity, poor internet access, and inadequate sanitation. Efficient roads, highways, railways, and ports help businesses thrive by reducing costs and improving supply chains. However, many developing nations struggle with poorly maintained infrastructure, leading to inefficiencies and high operational costs for companies. A weak power supply disrupts businesses, lowers productivity, and discourages foreign investments. Lack of clean water and sanitation affects public health, increasing disease burdens and reducing workforce productivity. Additionally, digital infrastructure is critical in today's economy, but poor internet access and weak communication networks prevent businesses from modernizing and competing globally. Without major investments in infrastructure, economic activities remain slow, limiting growth and development. 5. Weak educational system. A strong education system is fundamental for national progress, as it creates a skilled workforce and promotes innovation. Many developing countries struggle with poor literacy rates, outdated curricula, underfunded schools, and a lack of higher education opportunities. Without proper education, people cannot access high-paying jobs, which keeps poverty rates high. Furthermore, weak education systems fail to produce scientists, engineers, and professionals needed for economic development. Countries that do not invest in quality education fall behind in technological advancements and innovation. Limited research and development further restrict economic expansion, making it difficult to compete on a global scale. If education remains underdeveloped, industries face a shortage of skilled workers, reducing productivity and economic output. Addressing educational weaknesses is crucial for long-term growth and transitioning into a developed nation. 6. Political instability and corruption. Frequent government changes, lack of rule of law, and corruption are significant barriers to development. A stable political environment attracts investments, encourages economic growth, and ensures public confidence in institutions. However, many developing countries face political instability due to weak governance, power struggles, and internal conflicts. Corruption further slows development by diverting resources meant for infrastructure, education, and healthcare into the hands of a few elites. Bribery and mismanagement discourage both domestic and foreign investments, making economic progress difficult. Additionally, unstable governments fail to implement long-term policies for sustainable development. When political uncertainty prevails, businesses hesitate to invest, job creation stagnates, and economic growth slows down. Until governance improves and corruption is minimized, these countries will continue struggling to achieve developed status. 7. Inadequate healthcare system. A developed country has a strong healthcare system that ensures low infant mortality rates, long life expectancy, and accessible medical services. Many developing nations lack adequate healthcare infrastructure, leading to high disease rates and low life expectancy. Poor investment in healthcare results in understaffed hospitals, lack of essential medicines, and insufficient medical technology. People in rural areas often have limited access to healthcare services, worsening health disparities. A weak healthcare system also affects the economy, as a sick workforce is less productive, increasing absenteeism and reducing national output. Additionally, high disease burdens lead to increased government spending on healthcare rather than economic development. Without improvements in medical facilities, insurance coverage, and preventive care, a country will struggle to reach developed status. 8. High income inequality. Income inequality is a significant barrier to development, as it limits social mobility and economic growth. In many developing countries, wealth is concentrated among a small elite, while the majority of the population struggles to afford basic needs. This creates a cycle where the rich continue to thrive through access to better education, healthcare, and opportunities, while the poor remain trapped in poverty. High income inequality also leads to social unrest, crime, and political instability, further deterring investments and economic expansion. Developed nations have mechanisms such as progressive taxation, social security programs, and wage regulations to reduce income disparities. If a country fails to address wealth gaps, economic growth remains uneven, preventing it from becoming a fully developed nation. 9. Environmental challenges. Environmental degradation, poor waste management, and reliance on outdated energy sources are obstacles to development. Many developing countries struggle with air pollution, deforestation, and water contamination, which negatively affect public health and agricultural productivity. Poor urban planning leads to overcrowded cities with inadequate waste disposal and sanitation, increasing disease risks. Additionally, reliance on non-renewable energy sources such as coal and oil limits sustainable growth. Developed countries invest in clean energy, green technology, and environmental regulations to ensure long-term economic stability. Without proper environmental policies and conservation efforts, a country faces challenges in maintaining its natural resources and ensuring a healthy population, both of which are crucial for development. 10. Dependence on foreign aid or debt. Many developing nations rely heavily on foreign aid or loans to sustain their economies, which creates long-term dependency rather than self-sufficiency. While foreign assistance can support infrastructure projects and social programs, excessive reliance on aid limits a country's ability to generate revenue through internal means. High debt burdens further strain economies, as a significant portion of national income goes toward repaying loans rather than investing in development. Countries that struggle with debt crises often face currency devaluation, inflation, and economic instability. A developed nation must have a strong, self-sufficient economy with diverse revenue streams, robust industries, and a stable financial system. Reducing dependency on foreign assistance is essential for achieving sustainable economic growth.